Hey, hey, what's up? What's up? How y'all doing today? Hope everything's going well. Good to see y'all, fam. Good to see you. What's up, Gigi? Family man, what's going on? What's going on, my friend? Hey, you be safe at work, man. Enjoy your day. Enjoy everything that's coming to you. Hope you have a prosperous day. I hope everything you do is going to be accomplished. What's going on, Gigi? What's up? What's up? Put some T's in the chat. Y'all go ahead and put some T's in the chat. Put some T's in the chat. Uh, we put the T's in the chat to show we thankful. Go ahead and put some T's in the chat. How y'all feeling today? What's up, Aaron? What's going on? Man, it's a lot I want to talk about today. And hopefully the internet will be a blessing to me going live and occurs. Of course, every time that I'm trying to do this live thing, my whole setup was set, ready to go. And time I hit go live, it did. Oh no, we're not doing that. It did. Oh no. What's going on, Kathy B? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see me. Please give me a thumbs up. Hey, I appreciate that. Much love to you, beautiful too, as well. What's going on? Hey, Miss Kathy B. See some T's in the chat. We see some thankful people. Y'all thankful. Y'all thankful for life. You're thankful for today. Man, we got a lot to be thankful, y'all. It's the first day of August already, 2024. The first day of August. Can you imagine this? This year is on the latter end of this year already. And what a year it has been, man. I don't know about y'all, but 2024 has been a year of just I don't know what the category to put on 2024 in. What's going on? Beauty is her name. Got some T's in the chat. Good to see you, Donald Patterson. How you doing, Donald? Good to see you today too, as well. Thank you for coming in, and welcome back to another. I would say this is not necessarily Eco Nation news. This is kind of like just me going live, and I just got so many things. I don't know, so many things in my heart, so many things I'm thinking about. It's a lot going on, y'all. But I want to talk about, we have a blueprint. One thing I want you to understand, and understand that this is my concept. This is my vision. This is what I see. This is what I feel. This is nothing that anyone kind of added to, but this is something that's been casted on my heart and my thought process. But what I want to talk about is, nature. It gives us codes and blueprints to how not only other animals, other creatures move, but somehow I think along the way, we have forgotten that we are animals. We are creatures, and I mean animals in a good way and animals in a bad way. But I think somehow we have forgotten the blueprint in by nature. We're going to always revert back to nature. I don't care what technology is put in place. I don't care how much knowledge or wisdom we have gained. I don't care how many possessions we obtain. I don't care how much we dominate. I don't care how much we give, how much we take. Nature will always prevail because we are a part of nature. And no matter how much we separate ourselves by living in these air-conditioned facilities, these structures made out of nature, think about every single material, even synthetic material, has its origin in nature. Even plastic comes from nature. Rock comes from nature. Wood comes from nature. Water comes from nature. Our air that we breathe comes from nature. We are a part of the ecosystem. We are the making of everything, right? We're part of this system. And I'm laying this foundation to go into this conversation with you all to kind of have a transparent conversation. But I'm watching a lot of things go on, not only in social media, we watching news, we watching people having conversations, even in the country where the news maybe used to be a little bit slow, but news go the same speed in country as it goes out in the regular world. Now we're seeing a lot of changes in this world. We're seeing a lot of different things happen, and it's not just here wherever you reside, no matter where you're watching this video, we're watching changes happen. Some people, depends on where you are, you're already used to these changes. But for a lot of the developed air quote countries, the more advanced air quote countries, somehow we think we have lost touch with nature. Somehow we think we have come disconnected from nature. And in a lot of ways, some people, leaders, some when I said leaders, decision makers. Let me change that. Some decision makers, because there's a difference between a decision maker, being empowered, having the power to make decisions, and being a leader. A lot of times we put these labels, and if we're gonna put labels, let's use the labels for what they are. Because a lot of these people we put in these tags with leaders, they're not leaders. We call them world leaders. We call them community leaders. We call them a lot of stuff. They're not necessarily leading. They're just decision makers. So I'm talking about some of these decision makers, not no true leaders, because true leaders don't move certain ways, because true leaders are there for what? They're there for people. You can't have a team without people, or without individuals, because we're going to tie into nature, because I don't want to get caught up just in humans and people. I want to go and dive into, let's talk about nature. One thing I do love, and I've always loved ever since I was a kid, man, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a zoologist, right? When I first found out what a zoologist was, as far as the study of animals, I wanted to do that. I love plants. I love animals from a young age, right? I always did. But I always watched those channels. And even in my backyard, I don't care whether I looked at a pile of fire ants. I watched them. I watched the way they move. I watched what we did. What's up, Growing with Hudson? Y'all come on, hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. Thank you, my beauty. I've always watched animals, watched insects, plants. And some reason we don't think plants are living beings. Now, most of us people that garden and people that nature lovers, you really know that. But some of us, we go every day and we don't think about it. But there's a cheat code to understand how people interact and what they do if you watch nature. If you want to learn wisdom, you want to learn the dynamics of social interaction, you need to watch animals. And not just the human animals, but watch the animals that we cannot relate to or communicate, but they still communicate. You can watch a pack of wolves. You can watch some ants, birds, butterflies, moths, bats, owls, and you can learn a little bit about yourself and about the people that you're around. And I'm going somewhere with this because I want to let you know that as the world gets ready to reorganize and do these different things, and as more transparency comes out, because over the next few months, we're going to see a lot of transparency. And I'm saying, pay attention, be observant, listen more, and don't react based on emotion, because people move a calculated way. And then we got to get also out of this mindset of love and peace and no war, and understand that this is a part of life. Every day there's murders. Yes, every day in nature and human society. Some of those murders may happen from the hands of humans. Some may happen from animals. Some of it may happen to the environment, from the environment. Some of them may happen from plants. Some of them may be self-inflicted, but it happens. There's no difference in nature. Every day I watch a certain bird nest on Annabelle. Y'all seen it. Something happened to that bird, right? That nest is still there. Those eggs are still there. That bird, I don't care where I move Annabelle or what I did, that bird would always come back to that nest. But one day that bird got up and didn't come back, didn't return back to the nest. Every day you get up, there's a challenge to live and to survive. And somehow we think through our intelligence that we have overcome this thing of people getting rid of you and people being not, I guess, agreeable with you. Amongst lions, bears, wolves, coyotes, there are packs, there are groups. Stay with me, y'all. Be patient with me. I'm gonna lay this out, and when I bring it together, y'all are gonna see where I'm going. There are packs, there are groups, there are cliques, whatever you want to call them. Now I'm gonna put it in human side. In life, you got same thing: cliques, groups, packs, whatever. You know, matter of fact, some of these political names come from nature. You know, a lot of principles, everything comes from the root, the foundation, which is nature. Now you're part of certain packs. Not going to put the acronym with them, but you're part of certain packs. You got to understand what packs do. When a pack of wolves go out, what do you think about in your head? When packs of wolves navigate through the woods and through the forest, through the land, what do you think they're doing? You think they're skipping? You think they're kicking rocks? You think they're kicking a pine cone next to each other? Now, wolves play? Yes, wolves play. Watch nature, y'all. Wolves get up. They sleep together. They play together. They eat together. But how do they eat? How do wolves eat? How does an elephant eat? How does a bear eat? It has to hunt. And the moment it's able to secure its food, it has been successful. And what happens is that success promotes evolving and growth, right? Understand this. Some of us have been moved into this country. People like myself, with my skin color, my skin tone, people have been moved here without being willing. Some of us were already here. Some of us have even moved after a large group has moved, for whatever reason. It's the reason why people want to come here. Some people have crossed gates, have piled themselves in cars. Some people have rode on an airplane. Some people have been birthed here. Some people have came on this land in various ways. But once you own the land, what do you do while you're on this land? You take a pack of wolves and you herd them up. You put them in a compartment. You take that compartment, you put them on a ship, or you put them on a plane, or you pack them in a car or in a truck, and then you take them to another foreign land. What do they do when you let them out? What do they do when you let them out? They run, but after a while, guess what's going to happen? They're going to get hungry. They're going to get hungry, right? Now, there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of chat, there's a lot of chatter that's trying to start, it's intentional. It's starting discourse, and it's been started, but it's really going to rattle and rattle the cage over the next few months. We got a lot of stuff that's going to rattle the cage over the next few months, and it's going to frustrate you. It's going to get you upset. It's going to get you mad, and you're going to watch some of the people that you thought was friends kind of start to turn on you, right? And we're going to watch where people are going to start congregating and getting in groups and packs and getting in these cliques. And you're going to watch the crowd is going to start to kind of separate, and then they're going to move differently. My question is the cheat code to animals. What happens if you take a foreign wolf from a different pack and you put that foreign wolf into another pack of wolves in another country? What do you think that wolf will do? Or what do you think that wolf should do? So we in Wyoming. Let's not even take it to a different country. We're in Wyoming. We got a pack of wolves. We heard the pack of wolves. And then we got another wolf that's from New Mexico, the state of New Mexico, different type of wolf completely. We take the wolves from Wyoming and we put them over there in Florida. I'm from Florida. We put them in Florida. We put the wolves from Wyoming over in Florida. We take the wolf from New Mexico and we put them with the pack in a cage with the Wyoming wolves. What do you think that wolf from New Mexico gonna do or should do? Y'all put it in the chat, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. It doesn't matter whether I just said wolves, birds, snakes. It does not matter whether I said lions, tigers, or bears. Things get uncomfortable when people get in packs and they get to moving around in groups. And when they get to moving around in groups, and then you don't have a choice and you put in a place around some of these wolves and you're not from here, you're probably going to be isolated. You're probably going to be picked on. You're going to be challenged. You might even get eaten or attacked. Or even if you get attacked, even if you don't get attacked, you might be ostracized. You might go in a little corner. You might, whether you stand tall or whether you sit strong, you know, wolves, they'll go for your weak part when they get ready to attack. They might try to bite at the hindquarters. They might try to bite at the neck. You know, it's the survival mechanism because the Wyoming wolves have a union, have a bond. They're going to protect the bond. They have some familiar principles, foundations that they focus on, right? So this is the question. That New Mexico wolf, what should that New Mexico wolf do? Should it try to get along, try to be pleasing to the Wyoming wolves? So should the Wyoming wolves try to learn the signs and the culture of the New Mexico wolves? Should they just kumbaya get along? Or should they just listen to their instinct and go by nature? And my question is, are they wrong if they do what naturally happens? Because I guarantee you this whole scenario, if you listen to it, you play it in your head, use your imagination, you can kind of imagine what would happen when that New Mexico wolf get thrusted in there. Even though they're in a foreign land, they're foreign place, they don't know what's going on, they might scatter a little bit, but once those Wyoming wolves get a figure that, hey, okay, we need to do that, they might even break off into multiple groups. But one thing you best believe, that New Mexico wolf gonna have to be vigilant. It's gonna have to really get his skill game up and gonna really have to know what to survive. Now we understand that when it comes to animals and wolves, they say you want to get rid of one fire ant bed, you put another fire ant bed on the top of another fire ant bed, and that's the way you get rid of it. We understand nature shows us the blueprint, the cheat code to everything. So if we know that the playbook is unity in numbers, unity in agreeability, commonality, traits, characteristics, if we know that, and if you're standing in a place where you're not connected with none of that, why wouldn't you expect to be treated in a different way? Why wouldn't you expect to be maybe attacked or maybe challenged or maybe questioned or maybe pushed around? That's what happens in nature. But my question is, what do you do in a situation like that? Now, let's mix up this same story. They noticed that the New Mexico wolf was able to kind of survive a good week or two. So next thing they did, they went to New Mexico and they pulled out some more New Mexico wolves and brought them right back where that one remained. So now from one New Mexico wolf, you got 5 and 6, but it's still a bunch of Wyoming wolves. They all over the place. They everywhere. The Wyoming wolves, they figuring out territory, they set borders, they're establishing society, they're establishing routines, they learning what they can eat, what they can't eat, and they learning how to navigate, they learning how to move around, they're learning all kinds of water sources, what's harmful to them. You know, they lost a few. They starting to get familiar. They starting to establish families. They starting to do everything. Now the New Mexico wolves at the same time, they're at a disadvantage because now not that many. Now the New Mexico wolves just came in and they just dropped maybe about 5 or 6, maybe 10 of them additional. Now they're starting right here at the problem at the point where they were those other wolves were 10 days ago, and they're trying to figure out what in the world just happened. We're here, we're trying to figure everything out, and we're scurrying around, and the Wyoming wolves notice that these new wolves are coming around, and now they're like, whoa, we just established our territory. We can deal with this one. It's over there in that area, but now it's messing and compromising our food, our resources. It's now compromising our order. Because now it could be a threat. Is it a threat? Let's test it and see if it's a threat. We watch animals. We see animals. We understand animals, but somehow we don't feel like we animals. And somehow we feel like New Mexico wolves should say, oh, accept me for who I am, be who I am. Let me be a part of you. Let me do what you need to do. Somehow we feel like that should be welcome at all times by all wolves. Wyoming wolves. There are going to be some Wyoming wolves that are going to be like, no, I don't want you. Don't like you. Don't like about you. Don't here. Don't know why you're here. If you're not serving a purpose, if you're not doing it, serving a purpose, y'all. Make sure y'all pick up y'all copy now, True Living on Amazon. Cultivate your purpose. If you're not serving a purpose in this pack, you're not contributing, I don't need you. Why are you here? And if you have a certain group, it don't take that many. And if it's more and more powerful and more stronger, more bigger, more established than you, you got to understand that this is reality, fam. At the end of the day, it comes about surviving. Understand when nature tells you who they are and what they do, listen. Understand and listen. Understand and be aware of your surroundings, my friend, because in this rural pack area, eventually they're going to come together. They're going to have families. They're going to start families. They're going to start gaining numbers. And when each group, if they survive, they start gaining numbers, eventually they're going to cross paths with trying to obtain resources. And then some of them may even start to mate together. Some of them may even start to break down some of the family dynamics. And if some wolves cross the boundary line over other wolves' boundary line, guess what happens? There may be discord, right? Understand this. When we were placed here in the South, we were put here for a purpose, my brothers and sisters. We were put here for a reason. The reason why we were put here is to do a work and do a duty. No other reason. We were here to serve. We were here to work. We were here to work from the sweat of our brows, right? Now, you could be promoted to have a decent life if you did as told or did as society told you to do, because you were outnumbered, outpowered, and you haven't even established. You just got here. You don't even know the lay of the land. You don't know the rules. You don't know none of this stuff. Trying to figure it out, right? So understand, you had some level of living, I would say, but it was very restrictive. Now, understand this, because I didn't make this stuff up. I ain't said what I didn't hear, didn't witness, or didn't see, but I have seen in my lifetime that anytime there's a challenge with any society, any sect, any group, and this is not limited to color. Let me say this, because you got black wolves, gray wolves, you got white wolves, you got all kinds of wolves, and in a pack, you have all different kinds of wolves. I'm talking about sect, groups, and organizations, because you got to understand that any smart group will be diversified, because the adversary is worldwide. The adversary comes in different shapes, sizes, and colors, right? Different cultures, this and that. But if you're closed-minded, you're emotional, you're dealing with all of this stuff, and you're listening to stuff that's confusing, ants will send a signal to confuse another group of ants to get them diverted away from their food source. They will send a chemical path trail to divert another group of ants amongst themselves. So in nature, just like with humans, we're not opposed to that. You will get caught in these different things and distractions so that you can't see the certain powerhouse, certain groups, right, are navigating and moving while you confused and you going around in circles, right? Nature is our cheat code to teach us about ourselves and about life. If we watch nature, we watch how nature works, we can learn a lot about ourselves and our interaction amongst ourselves. Going back to the wolves. Now, understand this. If there was war between the two wolves, they bumped heads, right? Someone has to have dominion. Someone has to be in control, or else you don't have a society, right? You just got a bunch of freedom people who just do whatever they want to do, and there's no rules, there's no guidelines. In order to have a true flourishing society, a kingdom, you got to have rules, and you got to have lawmakers, you got to have rulers, right? Same way with the hierarchy of a pack of animals. Wolves, you have a hierarchy. Even when they move in a double hierarchy, you know? They might put the youth up front. A pack of wolves will put the youth up front, and they'll put the elderly up front, right? And then they'll trickle down with the warriors, the strong ones, fighters behind there when they're moving in the pack, and in the back of the pack. But the leader is still communicating all the way up to the front of the pack. They got a game plan. They know what to do, right? So understand this, y'all. We got to understand that we got to tap into nature and pay attention to nature to know what we need to do. Because I'm telling you, as you get tested, which you're going to get tested, one good thing that people say, we did this, and people say, we're going to do this a second time. The second time, it ain't going to be light. In the South, I'm going to give you an example. The first time we had changed leadership, right? Money was spent. A lot of laws got suppressed. A lot of people got. But let's talk about society in the pack. Society in my everyday life. Let's talk about what affected me in my everyday life. World economy, the world debt, does that really matter to me? Does it really matter to me that my person that's my neighboring county guy that may be working at the same place I'm working at is heavily in debt and just overwhelmed in debt? It doesn't matter about me and my house and what's going on with my house, what's going on with my intimate social circle. That's what happens. That's what happens on the world. That's what happens all the way around. So this is my question to you is, when that happened the first time, I was in sales. One of my businesses dealt heavily in sales. There were logos that was placed on businesses. There were badges that was placed on businesses. And it had emblems. The logos had colors like red, white, and blue. The colors had stripes. They had big bold letters. They had names on there. They had slogan. The logo had all of that. And the establishment wouldn't have ordinarily did that. But that logo, over repetitive interaction, taught me that most of the places that where that logo was, I wasn't really welcome. And no matter what you had to offer, I really don't want to do business with you. Which reminded me when I grew up in the South, and I love the South. Y'all gotta understand, I love the South. I still love the South. People say, I don't know. Sometimes it's all you know, and sometimes that's one of them things. Whether you want to judge me, I flourished in the South. I understand the South. I understand languages that are not even spoken in my language that most people will come here wouldn't even understand. I understand logos. I understand badges. I understand mannerisms. I have learned a lot about the South, and I've learned how to maneuver in the South, right? But some people don't feel comfortable with, I don't have no issue with it, right? Another thing, when I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, there was another symbol that had an X and had the same colors and had the same emblems on there, different names. Those establishments, I was told, they don't care too much for me coming in and interacting. If I need to make sure it's a transaction, no favors, nothing like that. Just go in, do what you got to do, go out. What I'm saying this time, I think it's going to be more intense. It's going to be more impactful. It's going to be more transitioning. And the people that are aligned, and I'm not going to say color, because I'm telling you, you can get caught up in the color all you want to. But just like ants, just like wolves, just like bears, just like dogs, there's all kinds of colors. Watch actions, watch the logos, listen to words, watch movements, be observant, stop being emotional. Stop being emotional and stop judging. What I'm telling you is stuff that I've seen, stuff that I witnessed, where people who didn't walk with a high head started to walk with a high head. People who wasn't necessarily confident started to become confident. People who wouldn't ordinarily banish a gun or a rifle, they start banishing guns and wearing all kinds of gear. They start wearing different type of shoes. They start driving different type of vehicles. They start putting logos on stuff they normally didn't want to put logos on. They start walking certain ways. They start wearing their hair in certain ways. They start wearing certain colors in different ways. When things around you change and things start moving around you, watch it. Don't be emotional. Be grateful that you see them signs. Be grateful that you see them badges, them logos, right? But the sad part about it, if you live long enough, I don't need a logo. I don't need a logo. All I got to do is just sit, watch, and observe. And this will be the thing. If you're not aligned or you're not going parallel with whatever the ones that can make the law decisions and the law changes, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be the problem. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think. I don't care how it makes you feel. You're going to be the problem. What's the solution? The solution is pay attention to nature. When you take that New Mexico wolf, you put that New Mexico wolf in there with those Wyoming wolves, and if that New Mexico wolf survived, watch what that New Mexico wolf did and understand what that New Mexico wolf did to survive. That's code. Pay attention to nature. You take a plant and it's non-invasive, and you put it in a grouping or a bed with invasive plant, that plant is going to either survive or not survive. And if that plant does survive, how does that plant survive? What things do that plant do to survive, fam? Now, how can I apply that to my life? Because you're going to notice that life ain't fair. Life is not fair. And they say, you know, what happens when certain animals get the upper hand? They take advantage of that. And shame on you, no matter what group, no matter what society you are in, no matter what clique you are in. If you had the advantage, you didn't take advantage, shame on you. If you didn't position yourself in a position of being able to make the law, change the law, create the law, write the law, shame on you. And if you focus on the barriers and focus on the opposition and get confused with all these chemical signals and trails to get you off, sometimes you gotta not be just so chased at food source. Sometimes you gotta climb to the top of the tree when all the rest of the ants are going in one. Sometimes you gotta be that ant, because there's always those one or two ants. They're gonna go outside of that line. They're gonna climb a tree. They're gonna climb a bush. And guess what they're doing? They're doing just like this. Sometimes you got to be that ant to go climb outside of that line, to step outside, because people going to be like, what are you doing? You're going to die out here. You're not going to make it. You're not going to do this. What are you doing? So weak. What? You're going to have to be that ant sometimes to just climb and go and get a higher view. Now, do you put yourself at risk by doing that? Yes, because you're not conforming. Yeah. You put yourself being vulnerable because you're not in packs, because you're not with everything else. Yes, you do. But guess what? The crazy thing about a large number in packs and movement is very easy targeting. Very easy targeting. So my thing is, listen, understand, watch nature, pay attention to nature, move as such, learn from nature. Don't allow warm and fuzzies to guide you through what's built into you. When you're walking through the woods, most of us haven't walked in woods in years and don't even want to walk in woods. Most of us couldn't even get out the car long enough in the summer heat in August in the state of Florida and stay outside the car for 10 to 15 minutes. But imagine walking through the woods and then all of a sudden you didn't necessarily hear nothing, but you felt something. You felt something. Or walking through the streets, maybe New York or something like that. It's noise everywhere. You hear noise, honking and blowing and all of that everywhere. But then all of a sudden you stop and you know that something is watching you. You know something is around you and you pay attention. But most of us now these days, we cut that off. We turn that off or we suppress it every time. Well, no, well, maybe. Well, I don't think, well, surely no one's like this or like that. Listen, by nature, you be observant and even instinctively, you will get these feelings. And they are a protection mechanism for survival. Because at the end of the day, when a wolf gets up or when the bear gets up, some gonna die. Some gonna die. And what make you think we're not the same? What make you think we're not the same? Whether it's leafy greens, whether it's a cow, whether it's a pig, whether it's a chicken, whether it's shrimp, whether it's fish, something gonna die. And when you are compacted in a close-knit area, and you put in sectors and groups and packs, there's going to be opposition. Pay attention, be aware of your surroundings, listen, and follow the cheat code. The cheat code to life is watching nature. When ain't nobody got to tell me if a storm coming, I look up in the sky, right? Weather forecaster, what do you think they doing? Well, the barometric pressure, and then this creates this, and we watch the wind flow, we watch this, and then this enzyme and this atom comes together, and this moisture barrier. Let me tell you, why do they fly the planes up into the storms? They pay attention, they watch nature. When they practice working on a pharmaceutical or medicine, what do they go back to? Nature. When they get ready to release or try new drugs or whatever on you, what do you think they testing it on? Nature. When they're looking for cures, when they're looking for different things, whether they go in outer space, whether they go here on this earth, whether they go underwater, what do you think they're looking? Nature. Because the wise individual knows we have everything on this earth that we need. We get everything on this earth that we need. But yet we go every day and we drive in our cars, we ride our planes, we take our Ubers, we don't look at the trees, we don't look at the sky, we don't look at the clouds, we don't look at the grass. We don't see this grass died this week versus last week, that grass was greener than green. You know, oh, we might see a flower or two, but a flower is nothing but something that's already living and now trying to procreate. It's already thriving and it's just trying to procreate. You know, we're not paying attention to the things that giving us our guide and our lessons in life, and we're missing peace, we're missing knowledge. We and without knowledge, you can't get wisdom. And how does the Creator give us wisdom? Through knowledge. The Creator give us wisdom, yeah, but the Creator give us this thing called earth, this environment. And this environment will save you, and it will teach you how to navigate in life. And the further you away from natural circumstances, the more vulnerable you are. Think about food, think about air, think about technology. The further you are disconnected, the further you are from truly surviving, from getting everything you need. And for some reason, we, especially us, in my skin historical background, We were growers, farmers. We knew the earth. We could grow, right? We can make something out of nothing. When the scraps are discard, we will make anything. And now to this day, people say, what are y'all eating and what are y'all doing? We are survivors, because I'm telling you, when you can't get no job, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your rent, because I'm fixing to get real intimate with you right now. When you're not getting opportunities, when you can't depend on your rights that was addendum or edit because the foundation was never written for you. And when those things are no longer like in the forefront or even matter, you better learn a skill set. You better learn survival. You better learn how to deal with nature. You better learn how to build. You better learn how to navigate. You better learn how to move. You better become resourceful. You better become valuable to mankind, not just you and your kind. You better be valuable to mankind. Being valuable to mankind means you know something. You know something that most don't know. Use this time to be gaining knowledge and specialize. You need to specialize in something that's connected to the earth. Because the moment you become valuable, you get a skill set, you're needed. And if you're needed, then guess what happens? Protection happens. Let me tell y'all, fam. Do you think they care what color the cow is? You know, when you're in abundance, yeah, that might matter. But if you're hungry, do you care that cow is black and white or brown or blonde or gray or cream? When you're hungry, do you care that plant is green or it might have a little discoloration? When you're hungry, I ain't talking about when you satisfied. I'm talking when you're hungry. When you're hungry and you boil them greens down or those vegetables down, or you barbecue that meat, right? Or that chicken. But that chicken was red. But that chicken was white. That chicken was black. That chicken was brown. You don't care about that because that chicken is valuable. That chicken contributes. That chicken is giving back, right? People, stop going for this crazy stuff and stop being delusional, thinking that, first of all, we all kumbaya. Second of all, we all at peace. Third of all, everybody got a place at the table, even if you ain't bringing nothing to the table. That's the key. Everybody cares. That's not right. That's not fair. No one cares about that. What people care about, what animals care about, is that you're a resource, a food source, or sustainability or protection for them and what they care about. You got in South America, you have insects that protects a certain type of tree because it gives fruit. Listen to me. You got insects that will protect trees because it gives fruit. It even will help it procreate. It even will clean up, get rid of pests, get rid of any type of bad leaves, maintain and keep that tree. But if that tree stopped giving, what do you think will happen to those insects that protect that tree? If that tree stops contributing, what do you think will happen to that tree? That tree now will become vulnerable. That tree now may not survive. And according to scientists, some of those trees or plants wouldn't survive without that protection from those insects. Now, what can we learn from that? Okay, I'm going to be straight honest. Y'all been here this long, you might well keep listening. Black folks, I'm from the South. When you saw bricks or a brick house, black man laid them bricks. There were certain things that we were known for. That's just one. It's 50 million. There were certain resources we were known for. Right now, we're known for what? Entertainment as a whole, sports as a whole. Fam, that ain't about no survival. You do entertainment, sports when you're in the good, when you got downtime. We go in our communities, I tell you, convenience store. What group of people, what pack do you think about? I tell you, liquor store. I tell you, hair store. I tell you, now the medical field, the nurse. I mean, look, fam, hotels. You will suffer if you don't provide value to mankind. You will suffer if you do not provide value to mankind. You will suffer if you don't watch the play code to nature. If you don't understand the inner workings. Some animals sleep during the day. But the question is, if they sleep during the day, what do they do at night? Some animals get up every morning. When they get up every morning, same thing? Do they do the same ritual? Do they kind of function the same way? Do they, move a certain way? When a bird wakes up, certain birds, when certain birds wake up, are they quiet? Mainly the male bird. Male bird. Let's talk about some male birds early in the morning. When I say a bird early in the morning, what do you think about? When I say an ocean and I say fish, what do you think about? Do you visualize a fish walking on land? Do you visualize birds using sign language? Fam, learn yourself, learn your dynamics through nature. Learn what you're good at, learn your purpose. Learn why you're here, learn your talents, cultivate your talents, cultivate your skill set, be amazing at it, and learn how you can add value to mankind. Because once you add value to mankind, you will start to receive protection and benefits. The moment you twerk, shake your ass, go off, pop your finger, tell them how you feel, don't want to work, don't want to be skilled this, don't want to go to school, don't want to do this, don't want to be a part of this society, just want to do your thing, and you tired of oppression, you tired of this, you tired of that, fam. New Mexico wolf, Washington wolf, Wyoming wolf. If you want to stay and survive, you better do what that wolf that's surviving do. That may result in skill set. It may result into learning may result in having something that can be self-sustaining, to growing. It could result in a lot of different things. The opposite of not being a part of society is what? In order for you to survive as a lone wolf, what do you have to do if you don't want to be a part of that society? Ain't but a few things, ain't but a few options. If you don't want to be a part of that society, then what do? There's a few things, right? Pay attention to the wolves. I'm not going to go into those few things. I would love to go into those few things, but I don't put in what I really want to go. But I want us to wake up, man. I want us to wake up. I want the poor people in this country to wake up. I want the everyday working person to wake up. I want my brothers and my sisters to wake up. I want my white people to wake up. I want my brown people to wake up. I want my green, orange people to wake up. I want people to wake up and pay attention to the cheat code of nature and understand this. Understand this, my friend, that when you watch nature, understand that this is your life. When you watch nature, I want you to say, this is my life. So the next time you watch that antelope get chased down by that lion, I want you to say, this is my life. The next time you see that deer or that elk be attacked by that bear, I want you to say, this is my life. Or the next time you see that elk chase that wolf or those wolves and bears, I want you to say, this is my life. Or the next time you watch that water buffalo chase down those lions, I want you to say, this is my life. I didn't say pick a side, but I said, I want you to say, this is my life, fam. I want you to say, this is my life, because when we watch monkeys in a tree, or a mountain gorilla, or a panda take a stalk of bamboo and grab it and break it and bite and gnaw on it, that bamboo is living. That bamboo is alive. Watch the swag of the panda when he takes the bamboo. And I want you to watch and say, this is my life. This is my life. Watch when ants attack a bird that's falling from a tree because it's hurt its wing. And it starts flapping around and the ants overtake it. I remember when we first had our first, well, it was our second set of chicks in the chicken pen. It was about 10 of them. And I remember 10 eggs was sitting in the nest, and I would check on them. But I remember as they were getting closer and closer to getting ready to hatch, I could start to see them breaking through. I could see the little chicks kind of pecking through. And I was like, man, by this afternoon, I'm going to have some chicks, man. That's cool. That's cool. I came back by midday, and that nest was full of ants. Full of ants. And I was able to pull two chicks out. The rest of them were eating alive by those ants. And I want you to say, this is my life. Then ask you to pick a side, whether you were the chick, whether you were the ants. But understand this, it's called survival. And when you're dealing with survival, fam, you got to understand emotions have nothing to do with it. Picking a side has nothing to do with it. Color has nothing to do with it when it comes to survival. Your religious belief has nothing to do with it when it comes to survival. Fam, pay attention. Observe your surroundings. Don't just think that, oh, there's some ants over there. They just gathering together. They just going and, oh, by the way, they did attack that bird over there. Oh, that's them. Oh, that bird over there is flapping around and he's attacking that butterfly. That bird is pecking them juicy ants off the tree. That bird over there is getting a caterpillar. That moth, they're attacking that other moth and they done clip the moth wings. Because some people, they ain't been in nature long enough to know butterflies attack other butterflies. Moths attack other moths. And then by the time they all get to fighting together, guess what happened? A lizard out here will come out here and get both of them. Life every day, something must die and something must live. And I'm not promoting violence, but I'm promoting surviving. And understand this, fam. When you have to make that decision about making sure you're secure, making sure you're good, making sure your family is protected, making sure everything's good. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Putting that in somebody's face ain't gonna save you. Unless you got something else in there. Now the information is in there, it tells you. Utterly destroy. Or don't leave nothing. It tells you that stuff, right? So understand that. let me share this with you to make things make sense. Let me share something to make sense. I'm a part of nature. I'm connected to nature, right? I got two beautiful dogs out there. I love them. People say I don't care for my dogs because I keep them pent up. Y'all seen the donkey out here on the land? That donkey would have put them to sleep in a heartbeat. They were just out there running. That donkey would have. It's so much adversaries out here, and I just make sure they love their spot, because every time that pops off, that's the first place they go, and that's where they go to be safe, right? They either come to me, or they come to Gigi or Lil Gigi, or they go to their spot. So I understand what you're saying, but this has nothing to do with emotions. This has to do with living and surviving. But let me tell you this: we got coyotes out here. One thing that coyotes will do to dogs, you get one coyote that'll separate itself from the pack. But what you didn't witness when the pack got together and they got to talking. See, we watching nature, but we got to watch the whole story before. Well, let me tell you what happens. So one coyote runs off away from the pack, and he makes himself known, makes himself seen, and guess what? The dogs lock in. The dogs know that they can take that one coyote, right? They know it, and they'll go dart off and they go chase that coyote. That coyote will go back and act like he's weak, act like he's alone and vulnerable, and they circle around, and then they ambush them dogs. They ambush the dogs. Now, what would happen, you think, if the dogs was watching during the time that them coyotes were beating up and saying the strategy and what they was going to do? And imagine if the dogs could truly understand. You think the dogs for the no, I wouldn't go for the okie doke. That's why I say, get out of your emotions, listen, pay attention, be observant, and know there's a strategy, my friend. If you're not productive, If you're not valuable, you're not adding resources, you're not contributing, you are a problem. And problems will get dealt with. And that ain't got nothing, no color, shape, size, weight, none of that. You can be whatever color, and if you valuable and you provide resources, understand this, you become valuable. You become valuable, fam. And that's the nature. That's the rules of nature. That's the rules of survival. Why in the world would you see, even Lion King showed you had a warthog, what it is, what it was, a thing to get them snakes, I forgot, and a lion. They got together. They ain't got no commonality. They don't even eat the same stuff. They don't do nothing. But for that point in that time, notice, for that point in that time, they were partners because it dealt with survival. It dealt with survival. And if we would just watch nature, we could learn a lot about each other. And some people, you was good back before 2020. You was good back before 2024. You were welcome and you were cool. But then all of a sudden things started to change because one might be prospering, the other one might be like, I'm kind of getting by. One might have more opportunities. And then the dynamics have changed. And when the dynamics change, you got to adjust. That's why we got gears on cars. That's why we got shifting. Because when you get uphill, downhill, you got to adjust and you got to transition. That's what happens, fam. You ever heard of dogs getting with wolf packs? Dogs getting with coyote packs? Because why? Because it deals with survival. And I guarantee you that dog was tested, tried, probably was attacked, probably was beat, probably was lame, probably was maimed, probably was everything. Or that dog went ahead and stood his ground and couldn't nobody freak with it, right? Couldn't nobody mess with it. But tried them. They tried to control them. They tried to do a lot of stuff, right? But that dog earned his weight and added value to the pack. The dog contributed to the pack. Question is, what value are you adding to humanity? What value are you giving? Are you teaching? Are you training? Are you coming up with innovation? Are you organizing? Are you providing a resource? Are you growing something? You feeding people? You caring for people? What I mean by caring physically, mentally, what are you doing, fam? If you just out here consuming and getting and taking, wish I had a clock. But time is ticking, my friend. Time is ticking. And understand this. There's going to be a time when you're going to be held accountable. And when that accountability time, I just hope favor is found for you. Because I'm telling you, things are changing. And if you pay attention to nature, you'll see the winds and the trees are shifting. It's just like before a hurricane. You'll start seeing warm temperature. Then you'll start seeing the top of the trees start whipping around. And then you'll notice they're not whipping to the east or to the west, but they're going east, west, north, and south. And then there's peaceful times, and then there's whipping winds. Then you hear rumblings in the ground. Paying attention to nature is telling you it's getting ready to storm. There's something brewing. You don't know how impactful it's going to be. You don't know how strong that wind is going to be. You don't know how hard the rain going to beat down. You don't know whether the tornado is going to pop up. But that warning is there to prepare you, to get you ready, because you know there's a change in the weather. There's a change going on. And when the change go on, you ain't got but a few things. Get ready, be prepared, get safe, protect yourself from the adversities, and learn what you need to do. And if you make it through the storm, then you got to figure out how can you get back in a sustainable manner. And one thing about storms that happen, animals get displaced after a storm. Most dominant animals have their tails between their legs. Most dominant animals seem confused after the storm. Most of them are very skittish. They're looking around, not quite sure what to do after the storm. Some of them have been hit with fear. And then you have some animals who have weathered storm after storm. They have learned to burrow in the ground. They have learned where to build their burrows. They have learned what section, what portion. Some of them have learned to go underwater, to go in a cavern. Some of them have learned survival tactics. And when they come out of the storm, they're looking for what they can eat. They're looking for what has come to the storm. They have looking for opportunity. That's just nature. That's just nature, fam. So don't shake your head. Don't be so caught into your feelings and your emotions and be shocked by certain things that happen. Because nature already gave us the code, already gave us the blueprint. Don't get caught up in the foolishness and thinking that here it is, it's all done. If you do your due diligence, you truly contribute, you add value, you organize, you get prep, you get your mind ready, you get your family ready, and understand that even if you're going to work, ain't nothing promised. And you got to be at peace with that. Men, before I get out of here, I'm finna get out of here. Men, people say step up to the plate. I don't say step up to the plate. Men watch nature. And that means in various ways. I got two Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix. Both of them are male dogs. One male has established dominance from when he came from his mother, from the pack when they was young in the pack. They're both brothers. One has not that feature. Whenever that one dominant comes, he reminds that other one that he's not in charge. Now, that one that's not in charge, he understands he has a duty and a work to do. Somehow, as men, we got to understand, we all can't be Mr. Dominant. If we're going to unite, we're going to organize. We got to understand that some people are built for this. They were born for this. There was no question that pup, even amongst the other ones that we didn't keep, he moved as such. When a lot of them was trying to feel their way around, he moving other pups from other pups, and whenever there was time for feeding and different stuff, he knew where to go and what to do, right? I watch a lot of litters and pups be born, and you could tell leaders, even chickens, good goobity goop, and roosters. Men, understand this, that less dominant male, when the leader got sick, guess what that less dominant male did? He stepped up. He stepped up and he started. I saw a piece of him that I never seen. I watched a more dominant, more confident, more leadership role, right? But they are successful because they have a community, they're organized, they communicate, they have plans. And that's what I'm trying to tell my men out here. My men, I'm not going to ask you to step up and be no man. I'm asking you to watch nature, learn the cheat code of nature. And not all men are lions. Some are wildebeest, some are elephants, some are cheetahs, some are tigers, some are bears, some are animals, some of them gazelles, some of them alligators. Understand, just like there's different species, even cats. Even if you say we all are cats, we all are apes, which I ain't going for that, but we just say we all are. You got chimpanzees, you got apes, you got monkeys. Find your connection with nature and understand your dynamics, because you don't choose that you're not strong as some other males. You don't choose that your body structure is not 6'7" and 280 pounds and cut from head to toe. You don't choose that you 5'5", 135 pounds, but you got a purpose and you got to work, and you can be just as deadly as the one that's 6'7", 340 pounds. Because there's certain places that 6'7", 340 pounds can't go. There's certain things that 6'7", 340 pound man can't do. There's certain spots on his body that he can't reach. You know what I'm saying? So nature understands, I'm gonna be good at what I do. A jackal is excellent. I run with the lions. The jackal say I run with the lions, and every now and then the lions get tired of me, right? The jackal, when the lion's on the move, the jackal's on the move, right? The jackal ain't hungry. The jackal eat good. The jackal ain't trying to get the whole wildebeest. The jackal just get a piece, just get enough. But guess what? In many ways, that jackal is protected because he run with the lions. The jackal don't try to beat no lion. The jackal don't try to challenge no lion. The jackal understand that, hey, you got this, babe. I'm just here to help and support. Now, understand, some people say the jackal ain't nothing but the jackal be telling the lions too what's going on, what's moving, what's around. You got to watch nature, y'all. Watch nature. Jackal is very cunning. Excellent nose. Jackal be knowing things. But the jackal understand that I'm not the biggest, strongest carnivore out here. And I need some muscle. And I need to coexist. New Mexico wolf, Wyoming wolf. I need to coexist and add value to the pack. I might not be part of the pack. I might not be in. And if anything go down, I'll be the first one they want to go get. But at the end of the day, it's called survival. And don't get mad, because it was put here and printed in our brains and in our body, in our molecular structure, in our build, and we were put here for a reason, and we have roles to play. And the problem is most of us don't focus on survival, we focus more about our feelings, our emotions. We focus more on convenience. We focus more on things being easy. We focus more on obtaining something that ain't got nothing to do with survival, called money. We think money got to do with survival. But you show me a broke mechanic, and I'll show you a mechanic that got either awful mechanic skills or a bad work ethic. But a good mechanic don't need no money. Don't always be able to eat. Good mechanic say, man, I sure am hungry. I'll go get you something to eat. Man, I sure would like some. Baby, I get it till you go fix my, put that start on. Whatever a mechanic wants, a mechanic gets. Ain't no difference between plumbers and carpenters, whatever. Get your skill set on. Value, my friend. The bag will come. Protection will come. Community will come. Pay attention to nature. Cheat code. Y'all stay well, stay blessed. Dave Busby, what's going on? Myra, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for staying in. Beauty is her name. 111. GT, what's going on, man? Many blessings to you. Be safe out there. Happy Mac, what's going on? Thank you for coming on in again. Grand Acres, what's up, Grand Acres? Happy Mac. Let's see. Make sure I'm gonna try to make sure I hit everybody up. Thank you for dropping that. GG, thank you for dropping that link. Y'all check out my book, man. It's just a guide, you know. It's not there to replace the Great American Book of Life, but it's just a tool. You know, it's no different between gardening. You know, sometimes you might need a spade, sometimes you might need a shovel. You know, but the key is the fundamental piece is growing something, right? This is only just a tool. And I think that it's a great tool. And judging from some of the people that have reached out to me, they say it's a great tool too. So check it out. Kevin Matthews, what's going on? Facts, nature protects its own. Please post this up so I can watch it. Like most definitely. 100. Thank you for coming in. Ant Ford BBQ, what's going on? What's going on? He is on sale here, Kevin. Hopefully I'll yeah, we working on it. We're working on trying to get it better, trying to get better. Darlene, what's going on? Institution is your alarm. Please fix Wi-Fi. It's good. Hey, we working on it, man. We like I said, there's so many things that we have to understand. You know, you don't live your life for so long without electricity, and everything around you does not require electricity. And even the things that do require electricity, fam, it's so low wattage. It's not like that in your lifestyle and your way you live and the things that matter all of a sudden don't matter no more. You know, when you've been living off grid with no electricity, right? Things that you thought you needed, beauty lights and this and that, then you start to realize, oh, once you do get back on to the grid, then you start saying, man, I ain't realize how much stuff we were lacking, how many things we needed. And then that's another costly thing that you got to amp up and you got to put everything in place. And then we didn't do our research finding out, you know, like Gigi did her research over time. But then when it got down to the thing, we found a provider. Then the provider didn't come through like they said it was going to come through. And now we're waiting on that provider to do what they're going to do. Make a long story short, it takes time to transition. And then this goes out to one of my commenters. One of my commenters said, oh, you connected. Now you live in a manufactured home. What are you going to do now? You no longer off grid. You don't have no, what happens if it does go off grid? My brother, hey, they can flip this switch off tomorrow. I go right back to living how I live, my friend. Nothing happened to our infrastructure. We still got what we need, fam. We just more equipped, and we know we can be resilient. You know, we ain't talking about no weekend trip. We ain't talking about no month or nothing like that. We talking about 2 years, and I know people go for decades, but I'm telling you, once you've been riding a bicycle for 2 years and you've been riding it every single day, every hour of the day, we work virtually. We did live. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the greatest, but we made it. We were able to self-sustain. And for me, that was the goal. You know, our intentions were to say, hey, I want to make sure we as a fan would be prepared if we didn't have our resources. And we're not stopping. We still got establishments here where we go off grid. And Eco gotta have his boom boom room and stuff like that. That's gonna be totally off grid. A matter of fact, it is totally off grid. And yeah, like I said, it's other facets than what we do here on this YouTube thing. And so many depths to this thing that there's no way in the world would I want to, or even I would share. But it's just beauty about knowing and having knowledge to know that, hey, if we didn't have these modern day convenience, if the internet shut down, everything shut down, one thing about it, we good. We good. We good. And I keep saying, fam, try it, do it. It gives you a level of confidence where you really feel good about your decision you made. It teaches you about your life. It teaches you about a lot of different things in life. So, y'all, I'm not going to keep holding y'all. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for staying on. I appreciate it. If you like it, you like the information, doesn't mean you agree with the information. It's not about being agreeable. It's about having a virtual, one-way, somewhat two-way, I would say 1.5-way conversation. Because I try to go to the chat so that I can interact, but I had a lot on my heart, a lot on my mind, and I just wanted to get it off. And I appreciate you hanging around, appreciate you listening. And always understand, as a content creator, I never expect for you to agree with everything I say. Never expect for you to say amen 100, totally agree, this and that. Matter of fact, I love and I love the fact of some people even say, hey, I don't like this. The only thing that I will get rid of if you disrespect some of my if you disrespect the people that do come in my life, if you do leave a comment that's very disrespectful, now it could be opinionated, I don't have no problem with that. But when you come from a fam and you come for the people that truly come in here and listen and want a place of peace, that's when we have issues, you know what I'm saying? Or if you just being just straight ignorant and disrespectful, I'm protecting not only my listener piece, my readers piece of the comments, but also this channel as well. So y'all stay well, stay blessed, and make sure that you don't forget to grow on. Till next time. Oh, by the way, Eco Nation News. My schedule has totally changed. I got a lot of things popping off here, y'all. That's altered my schedule completely. And I most likely will not be able to do those Sunday or a designated day for Eco Nation News. Some people have asked and some people have texted me. They have inboxed me about, hey, Eco Nation News, what's going on? I done had some lifestyle changes and they have been very impactful with my schedule. And with that said, I won't be able to do like a routine live or what have you. I'm going to try my best to continue to provide you with information that maybe you can or maybe you cannot use. But we will have Eco Nation News. It just won't be like these set times, set dates. And with things going on around here on the homestead, it's so hard to have, quote, a schedule. And one thing about having flexibility and freedom, people, family, friends, and other people will find a way to feel the noise of down. Life will find a way to kind of, oh, there's some empty downtime. Let me put some in there, or let me do this. And the whole purpose is to be there for them, is to truly be flexible and do whatever I want to do. That's the whole point of this whole thing. And kind of support what really matters, I got things that my daughter needs me to take care of. It's done. I'm gonna take care of it. And it feels good to me for me to say, hey, I'll be there around such and such and I'll do this about such and such. Or I'll be there sometime on Thursday or Friday. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a period in time where you're not so regimented and pressed with serving people that don't give a freaking care about you, your family, or what got it going on. Yeah, we gotta have money for this society. So I'm not saying not having a portion of your time, but it's 24 hours in a day, right? It's 24 hours. It's 7 days in a week. Somehow you're going to have to balance with some of you and what matters with you, and try to get more of you and what matters to you, and then a little bit less of taking care of somebody else and taking somebody else's goals and somebody else's dreams. Yes, I know we get paid for the work we do, and yes, we receive something. But most of the time, when I plant a plant and I put it in the ground and I nourish it, I water it, I take care of it, I get bulk share of the fruit because I put in the work, I put in the time, and I did my due diligence. Thing is, with work for someone else, you're getting paid far less because they got to make a profit. They got to utilize your labor. And guess what also has to happen? I got to keep you there. I got to keep doing that. And the more I can limit you on your options, the more I can retain you. So if I am gone, it won't be a drop of a hat. And it doesn't matter anymore. But at the same time, here it is where when you're on your land, you're developing, you're putting infrastructure, you're putting things down, who's going to benefit? You and the people that you love and the people that you care for. So every off-grid shelter I build, who's going to benefit? Every acre of land I clear, who's going to benefit? Every tree that I grow, who's going to benefit? The work is different. It's still work, but it's different. And when I have abundance, guess what I can do? I can share it. I don't have to do like many corporations and jobs do, throw it away, discard, don't let nobody eat it, don't let nobody do it because they fear of being sued, or they fear of maybe slip, trip, and fall. They come in to get some of that free stuff, or they just don't want to give them that free stuff because they'll say, well, the mindset of some people be like, y'all gonna let stuff go bad, so you just give it all away. You get to decide how you want to do it, where you want to do it, the way you want to do it. You get to decide how you distribute it, the way you want to distribute it. Empower yourself to be a person, an individual to think on your own is so empowering and it's so freeing that I love it. And so that's some of the things that I want to continue to do, to have more time to truly spend with the things that matter in my life and to contribute to the people and things that matter in my life. If that makes sense. So hope y'all doing well. Miss Shirley OG, thank you for listening in the bushes. Thank you for coming through. And yes, I'm going to leave it with Grand Acres right here. She said it best. Freedom schedule. That's a great feeling. Freedom schedule. Y'all stay well, stay blessed, and don't forget to keep on growing. Grow. Take care. Till next time. Thank y'all. Thank you so much.